Oliver, and I'm like, wait, there's always a way.
Yeah, I didn't even think about like whether it would be on which account. And I'm like, I'm just gonna hang out with Melissa until I get a request.
And then I'm like, wait, I can log onto my PC, send her a message real quick. So that's why. But that works. So I noticed in one of your books, you show all your Kindra Woods books. You want to talk about that after you introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. So, as I'm packing books for another order, because we multitask in here. I am a romance author. That is what I classify myself as. We got to do the stamps because they're fun stamps, but not appropriate for here, guys. I'm just saying. So I write romance on the spicier side of things. I have two sides. I have the Kindra Woods side, which has no magic, and Michaela has magic. And that's Michaela Scott. I have well over 100 books between the two sides because I'm a crazy writer. Just a bit.
To be fair, they're not terribly long books, so you could get through a couple of them in a day, probably.
If you are a fast reader, you can probably get through most of mine in a month. I am not, in fact, a fast reader. Unless I have audiobooks. If I have audio, then I can get through a couple books a month. But if not, I am so slow.
I'm like, I've read most of Protecting Athena last night. I'm like, well, I probably could have finished it if I wasn't being lazy.
Yeah, so Protecting Athena, the one you're reading is actually a re-release. So I re-released it in the first person. Originally, it was done in third. Let's see. Like I said, because I have a massive catalog, I don't remember every single title. Not gonna lie. We have mostly the categories are under mafia, royals, or billionaires are the three main categories that I have. Hockey players are coming. But I guess you can technically classify that as a billionaire. Right?
At least a millionaire.
Right? At least a millionaire. They make some boku bucks.
Most of it goes to dental work, but.
Right. What's funny is my daughter plays hockey, right? Now she plays hockey. But the funny part is she had her top, like 4 teeth, these ones up here, removed when she was younger. So she looked like a hockey player before she played hockey. I just thought it was the funniest thing. Like, I'll look back and you'll just see her with a smile of no top teeth. It's like, yep, this should have been the sign.
He plays goalie too, right?
Yes, she is the nut. She is goalie. Okay, I got this one. I do my stamps. Okay.
I was trying to figure out what would be the next book to read, and I'm like, I don't know. I'll ask Michaela.
So so which ones have you read? Let's start there.
Protected what is it? Athena is the one I finished today.
Okay. So that one, I have not released Protecting Claire or Petra yet. It's on the docket. They're still in first person or third person. I can talk. My brain can brain. Let's see. Might as well share out just in case, because we're space cadetting it all the way through. Let's see. The next one, is there any triggers?
I don't really have triggers.
Okay. I always like to check because some of them get a little much. Especially claimed by the boss. That one has a massive list, and it starts off with a very dark scene that Rose decided that something was happening with her, and she was going to make it known. So, the ones that are interconnected, let me pull up my list. If I can find my list. There they are.
Molly says, gimme. I always need more books to read.
Well, so these are the ones that are interconnected. So we have Desired by the Boss, Claimed by the Boss. Those two, you see the sisters. Then, trying to remember which one came first. So then there's Snatched by Elliot.
Which I have that one right here.
There you are. The
Let me
Daring
see if I
one.
can remember how to mirror this thing real quick. There's a trick to it. I always forget where they put it.
I know where it is when I'm alone. I don't know where it is when I'm like joined with someone else.
There's like a trick to it right at the top of your screen, if I remember. And I'm trying to, no, that says top supporters. How on earth do you do this? They said it's a paintbrush. That's what it is. Looks like a little, well, I can do everything except for what I wanted.
What? Yes.
Well, there is a way to do it. I need to remember to do it before I go live because it's easier.
It's easier than trying to wing it, which is the story of my life.
Oh, there it is.
There you are.
Just do the three dots. The 3 dots works. Here's Snatched by Elliot.
And then Elliot makes an appearance in the Daring one, which is you also see Rose in that one as well, which isn't the main character and Claimed by the Boss. So like I said, a lot of the stories are kind of interweaved. The main plot of the story, like the romance itself, those are all standalone. Like, you pick up a book, you're going to understand from the beginning to the end what's going on with their characters, and there's going to be a whole arc ready to go.
Okay.
But a lot of them, I wanted to interweave, different characters and kind of, bring up certain people. So, someone like his brother's baby, there you are, is also connected to 100% Screwed.
Okay.
So you get a little bit of those two characters. His brother's baby, his lawyer, is in Empire of Law. Then you also get Dating a Billionaire and Billionaire Vengeance. Those are the last two that are also interconnected in the whole worlds of it all. So.
Well, I got a list of stuff we can go through that I normally have prepped. If you like.
Okay.
They're mainly just questions. So we can start with any of them because, like I said, I got 4 of them here. I haven't read them all yet.
Which one? So you got his brother's baby, Snatched by Elliot, and Empire of Law. Okay, so those are the 4.
Yep. I just told Adriana to throw books in my box a few months ago, and then I'm like, "Hey, I recognize this person."
I literally wait. I'm not.
And I dropped my pen. I have no idea what I did with it. Oh well.
Give me 1 second. Sorry.
If you guys are just joining us, we're talking to Michaela, and she also goes by Kindra Woods on her contemporary romances about her books tonight. So if you have questions, put them in all caps. It's easier to see them. Um, and I think she's tied up at the moment, but I read her Protecting Athena book. She just re-released it. Um, it's a royals kind of like forbidden lover romance, I guess you could say.
Enemies to lovers.
I wouldn't really call them enemies, but
Well, they don't exactly like each other at the beginning. It's at 10% or 11 now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's overheated. I know. Next. Give it 10 minutes and then you can come check it, okay? Sorry, I have littles that like to interrupt. It's 90% of the time. I'm always on someone else's live when it happens. So
all right. I was thinking more like forbidden lovers because they're not supposed to be together.
right. Yeah, I guess you could go that route. My goal was like the enemies to lovers originally when I first wrote it, just because like she's like when I got into her head, she's like, I do not like him. I love him, but I don't like him. Like, he makes me so mad kind of situation. So yeah. Some of the characters are absolutely like very loud, and then there's other characters that aren't so loud. So if I talk about certain ones, you'll know.
Well, speaking of that, normally I ask this a little bit later, but how'd you come up with the idea for Sam? Because he just annoyed the crap out of me.
Sam is
your antagonist in the story.
Oh, yes. Sam. Originally, he's actually based off of my ex-brother-in-law. So they share the same name, which is funny. But like just like that kind of like personality of like, I'm going to be all up in your face and you're going to accept it. Is that they match personalities on that front. 100%. Of course, thankfully, my ex-brother-in-law does not have stalking tendencies. Thank gosh. But he definitely inspired some stuff in there.
I guess that goes back to who's your favorite non-spoiler character to get rid of, right?
Yeah. Sam was a lot. 100%. Of course, out of all the books I've written, there are some that are way worse than others. 100%. And the aspect of like what they do and how they like treat like the other characters. Carlos, when I first wrote the Desired by the Boss, he was a lot, and then you got to explore his or what happened to him in Claimed by the Boss, which was so much fun.
Speaking of which, take a sideline for a minute. What's the best way to get the books from you?
Best way would be either pre-ordering it through me, through mine, or I'm trying to remember the terms to not get you in trouble. The rainforest. Some of them are wide. So if you're wanting more of like the digital copies, I think 100% Screwed is wide, but most of them are on KU.
Okay. And Kindra Woods is your contemporary side, right?
Correct.
And then your Michaela side is all your magical stuff, right?
Correct. They're all the same spice levels. They're the same kind of, I don't change my writing style when it comes to those books. Literally, that's the definition, the difference between magic and no magic. Because I wanted to make sure that when someone picked up one of the books for the contemporary side, they're like, well, where's a shifter? Where's a werewolf? Where's, all of this stuff? And then they leave a 1-star review because they're expecting something from me and don't get it. So that's why we split it.
You gotta do what works best for you, right?
Right? It's not a pain in the butt at all. If I could, if someone else was like a brand new author and they want to split it, don't do what I did. Like, do an abbreviation of your name that you already have. So, like, example, I would have done MJ Scutt and have it separated that way instead of Michaela Scutt. It's like abbreviation or M Scutt. That way, it's a little bit easier for people to connect the two without having two separate of everything. That would be my advice to anyone who's starting over. If I do decide to branch out anymore, that is what I will be doing, because holy cannoli, it is a lot. Like,
I can only imagine.
Yeah, Kindra, you're Kindra, right? Like, yep, that's me too.
So, what inspired you to get into writing?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. It started off as a way to deal with some trauma. That was the original start when I was in grade school. I took some creative writing classes in high school and then in college. After having my son, I was a stay-at-home mom, so I was like super bored. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't written anything in a while. Let's try it. We picked it up again. I joined a local group, writers group, and it kind of trickled from that. I joined. Originally, my stuff was not as spicy. And then I'm listening to these other authors and they've got nothing but spice. And I'm like, I can write that. Of course I can write that now. I'm not limited to, what school can allow me to write. And so it just kind of started from there. And the first book I wrote actually was based off of a very vivid dream. And that was I released the first book in 2015, 3 days before my daughter was born. I don't recommend that. You're pregnant? Wait. Just hold on to it. Keep writing. Just hold on to the release. Because I was sitting there typing like, ooh, there's a contraction. Ooh, there's another contraction. As I'm like trying to promote it. It was the wildest weekend ever. So don't recommend that. Just wait. Yep. So yeah, that's where I started.
What's one thing that's unique to your world? I say worlds because you have different series and everything. So,
I think for me, like obviously when you think of the mafia, you think of like not great guys. And like a lot of the mafia romances, they have this whole thing where, they'll burn the world down for just her, which is definitely still a thing in here.
oh, we got a question from the basement. What are your thoughts on AI in the writing space?
There's a loaded question. Let's see. I think using AI tools to help you like build your craft, I have no problem with. Now, to write a book with AI is a different story. My personal opinion. But to use like tools like Pro Writing Aid or there's another one I use often.
Grammarly.
Grammarly, but no, there was I use it so much recently. there's another one where it like analyzes your book to see if you've got any plot holes and things like that. I'm not saying as in replace of an editor, but it helps me catch some of those like very basic ones to then give to my editor so they're not focused on those, they're focused on the other plot holes that I might have. Something that an AI tool might not catch. For example, one of them, I use that to catch that I made one person's hair color 2 different colors in like 3 different chapters. So, things like that, I think AI helps, catch those things like this. Because this was a story that had been published. I was just throwing it out there just to see what it was like. So this book had been out, been to an editor and a proofreader, and had been seen by readers, and yet no one had mentioned this person had brown hair at the beginning and black hair at the end. So those little things that, you just, sometimes people aren't looking for those specific details, but something like that catches it. So that is my stance. Using it as a tool, not a way to write.
Very good question. How do you come up with all your character names?
That kind of depends. Some of them, there's been multiple times where I've had lists. Hi, Cara. Where it has like different names from like a certain like the top names of this year or the top names from this location, or depending on obviously the type of character it is. Then there's other times I actually have a list of villain last names that I have a list to go off of people. I'm like, I need a last name for a villain, and people will send me those that their names in, and I will pick from one and then put them on a list for later. There is also a Scrivener that can list off names as well. So sometimes I will, especially if it's like a massive like list of names that I need for like, let's say a hockey team. Thank you. A hockey team is like 23 players. And I'm not going to sit there and name 23 players first, last names. So I'll use that like as a name generator, and it will give me options of which ones I will want to pick and choose and use. So sometimes it comes from that. Other times they're inspired by people in my life. I try not to use that too much just because there's only so many times you can use the word, Clay or Brenda or, things like that. So I try to limit those to like side characters, especially if it's family. And then make sure I do not write them as a main character, because that's just a line I can't cross. There's a whole backstory. I tried. There was a side character that it was a brother of one of the main characters. I listed all the brothers off, and I tried to write his story. He had a twin brother. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Every time I got to that spicy scene, my brain's like, you're picturing your brother. Ew. I couldn't. I'm like, the end. Okay, nope, we're done. Don't do it. Don't do it.
We kind of talked about this at the beginning a little bit, but what is another book you have in mind? If so, when's it going to be ready?
Oh, so I am one of the writers that writes many books at a time. Many books. Currently, there's 2 active in progress, just because for those of you guys who do not know, I am going through a divorce. Yay! Which means my writing time and my schedule kind of went from like very open to very narrow. So the two active stories that I have right now are Shifting the Puck, which is book 3 in the thank you, Monique. The Houston Heatwave series. That is book 3. I want to get that out in October. And then there is so far it's titled as The Daring Break. I might change it. I'm not sure. If you go and look at all of my videos, it's the one that's Millie. Millie talks about me a lot, or talks to me a lot. And I have one with Athena as well. Those are just the two main ones because, like I said, time has not been on my side. But Millie's character it's a multi-personality. She's got 2 personalities, Millie and Braylin. And she has 2 lovers. And so that's been fun because she is also the one, she's a mafia princess, but she's the one that likes to go out and get her hands dirty. If you know what I mean. She's not going to let some, guy save her. She's going to be the one that does her saving. It's been a lot of fun to write, for sure.
Welcome in, everyone. We're talking to Michaela this week about her different books. She's got a contemporary side and her magical side, to put it easy.
Right? It really is. I write smut, and I write magic smut, not magic smut. It's the best way to do it.
Athena says that's all she's allowed to say, that you have a project together.
Yes, a dragon firefighter shifter romance. And it was on the docket, and then, yeah, my life kind of went crazy. So it's there. If our characters start talking, then I'll be writing. But at the moment, Millie is taking over, and I'm trying to get Morgan's story out. If you've read Shifting the Crease or Defending the Shift, you will understand. Some people are going to start asking for it very soon. I have this feeling they're like, where's Morgan's story? Where is it? Like, I can already sense the questions because I wanted to have it by August. That was the 6-month mark. It's not happening.
Hey, life be life, and sometimes
life be lifing and kicking my behind.
What's one of your favorite bits of feedback that you've gotten so far?
He's taking over your brain. Let's see. My favorite bit, I think, would be Melissa's feedback lately. She started reading Shifting the Crease, and she was like super happy that I didn't shy away from the MM side of the romance. And then when I first wrote that book, I was super nervous. Like, super nervous. And I've never been, obviously, in a male-male relationship kind of situation. So I'm like super nervous to write it, but like also like I want to make sure like I'm true to the characters and true to like the lifestyle and stuff like that as much as humanly possible. So to have her feedback of like, I'm so glad you didn't shy away from like their relationship, but also the spice in the relationship. She was like all happy about it. And it gave me all the warm feelings.
What's your favorite world scene that you've written so far that you remember?
My favorite what scene? Sorry.
World, like the scene in any of your worlds.
Oh. It took you 20 minutes. I'm sorry, Athena. Those are like the videos that like usually like you make the video and that's the one that flops because you're like, I spent all this time. Son of a gun. Hopefully yours doesn't. Good vibes. We're sending good vibes. My favorite scene. Let's see. It's a hard one. I'm not gonna lie. Because there's the scenes that like are like cathartic, and then there's like scenes where like they take over. Those are easier to pick out. Like my favorite scene. I'll have to think about that one a little bit.
All right.
I'm not sure.
We'll come back to that one. What's your antagonist ultimate nightmare? You can pick any of them that we've talked about if you want.
Oh, thank you for the rose. Ultimate nightmare. That's a rough one. Because sometimes they don't make it to the end of the books. So it's like, is it a nightmare at the beginning of the book? At the end? Because like I said, like some of them don't make it. At least in like the mafia side, like they're usually the protagonists, like they don't like when the women start standing up for themselves.
We got one from Michelle. Which book are you most proud of and why?
Oh, It'd probably have to be this one, The Shifting the Crease. I'm not marrying it. I'm sorry. I don't want to mess it up. I'm just not gonna do that. Just because like when like I released this one, it's an FM romance. Okay, I've at this point had only I'd only released books that had a reverse harem. So that's where the girl has multiple lovers, but the lovers aren't boyfriending. They're not boyfriending together, if that makes sense. Okay.
Right.
So this was like my first ever attempt at an MM section of my book. This made me super nervous, but the feedback people have given me, like Melissa did, and others, like the amount of sales I've gotten just from this one, insane. Like I am surprised. Okay. So advice I would give to new authors. I have a few. Sorry, dog is apparently wanting attention. Let me adjust here. You can go lay down. Yeah. You're a bigger butt. Okay, so don't do what I did. Get an editor and a proofreader. Yes, it costs money, but just deal with it. Because I made the mistake of thinking, oh, I just need a proofreader. It's fine. Everything's golden. I'm an amazing author. Don't do what I did. Just don't do it. Get an editor. Like Ariana Beach. She's amazing. I haven't used her myself because I'm broke as heck, but someone like that where they know what they're doing. You want to have someone who, gets those plot holes, gets, your arcs and stuff like that done and properly, build your story. Because you don't want to be like me 10, 20 years later having to re-edit your book because it's not up to where you need it to be. I have tried. Athena has my redone part 1 into part 2 for my first ever book that I ever released. It still probably could use some more work. I am getting it up to semi-standard right now. It's still not going to be the best, but it'll be re-released eventually. So just get an editor. Just do it.
along those lines, I learned that lesson too. Because I put out 5 books originally by 2023, and realized they all needed professional help. So that's why I'm taking my time and getting things done the right way this time.
Right? Yeah. You want to make sure, because um, yes, you can release it, but it's not going to get the traction you want if you have it edited properly. There are stories that, like shorter stories, like I won't technically send to an editor just because they're short, they're sweet, there's something to kind of hook the reader in. But those will go through friends who have read all my stuff and they're like, oh yeah, you missed this, or oh yeah, you missed that, or maybe use one of those AI tools to kind of catch some of those things. But these are usually the freebies that are like, hey, these characters were talking to me, they're not enough for a full story, here is a freebie, if you catch a mistake, let me know, kind of situations. But if you're releasing like your debut novel, make sure you get an editor. Take your time with your editors and your edits. I also recommend the second you finish your book to give it at minimum 3 days of rest. Do not look at it. Do not touch it. Leave it alone for 3 days minimum. If you can do a week, it's better, because then you're going to catch 1,000 times more than if you immediately start going into edits. Because your brain will start automatically correcting what your brain says, this is what's right, and what you're actually reading is completely different. 3 days minimum. Protecting Athena, what was the most interesting scene? I would have to say when they run into each other after they've been apart for a while, and the sarcasm that Athena has. Like, oh, I didn't realize you need protection from little old me. Absolutely loved writing that story, or that scene. Like, I'm just like, all of the sass that I had in me that day was coming out. Okay, sorry, I gotta get the dogs out because they're gonna drive me crazy. Come on,
All right.
Go, 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 go. Go.
All right, so if you guys don't know, we're asking Michaela about her books tonight. If you have questions, please put them in all caps. It's easier to pick them up, especially when the chat's moving quickly. And I'm coming up on the last few questions I normally ask, and then I have ones that are specific to your books.
Okay.
What's one theme of your book that is generally a one sentence statement, such as like all dogs go to heaven? I feel like in protecting Athena, it was like, don't give up on your dreams, because she always dreamed of being a princess.
I think so. Protecting Athena, I would probably say, more along the lines of a lot of my mafia royal romances are like, just because like you're a strong woman doesn't mean like you still deserve to be loved and protected as well. Like, you don't always have to be the strong, independent one. It's funny because I'm sitting here looking at this one and I'm thinking all hockey players deserve love kind of situation. Because, the more the merrier. Especially book 2, because one of those guys snuck in, the little brat. Yeah, I would say something along the lines of like, like you don't always have to be strong and ready to go at all times. Like, women who are strong are lovable.
If If you could ask any of your secondary characters one question, what would it be, and what would their answer be?
Oh, uh, hmm. Usually it's them asking me when are they getting their book. Because like a lot of mine are interconnected. Um, hmm. The secondary characters. Okay. Oh, what's the bodyguard's name from Protecting Athena?
Which one, Carlton or the other one?
Carlton. Carlton.
I think it's Miles. It's the other one. I'd have to totally look, but
So here's the thing, the lovely thing about my brain. Unless I'm actively writing the story, a lot of the side characters, they're not always, picked in, like, I don't remember all of them because with 100 books plus out, if you just do one male, one female, that is 200 main characters. That doesn't include if we've got a little bit more of a wide choose situation. You add a couple more guys or girls in there, and it's like, it's a lot of characters. So, usually, I don't always remember everyone. I apologize. So, if you ever come up and ask me, hey, when is this person getting their book? You better have which book you're talking about, which side we're talking about, and you might need to give me a little details because not all the characters are going to have books. I apologize. If you have a favorite, I might try to make it. I will try my best. But let's see. The one that's coming to me right now that I still question, like, his story. So it goes back to this series. Okay, it's the Houston He Waves. The dad of the female, his wife passed and he remarried. He married a woman who's a little crazy. I want to know what he saw in the said crazy woman. Because I've written book 1 and book 2. Mind you, we're still following their, because it's Jackson is the dad. And Morgan is daughter to the new stepmom and the dad. So Morgan's story is book 3. Hopefully I will get an answer to this question in book 3. I don't know if I will or not, but that woman is a little crazy. Just a little. If you've read the books, you'll understand and have questions after book 1. You might get some answers in book 2, but you'll definitely get them in book 3.
What's your inspiration for your book covers? Do you have a vision, or do you just kind of wing it? Or
some of them, yes. So like this one, I wanted to make sure I had the rink in the background. Then there's other ones, mind you, these are my bedazzled set. So each one has the different planet and the guy, so you can kind of see what he looks like a little bit on each one. Usually when it's a mafia romance, it's the guy's the main focal point in those covers. And I'm trying to get them all, especially the interconnected ones, they kind of look semi-similar, so you can kind of tell that they're connected. But some of them are instant, like I know exactly what I want, and then there's others that it takes me like 3 or 4 tries before I get what I'm looking for. So, and I'm the one that designs 90% of my book covers.
cool.
So,
Along those lines, how do you get the covers done? Do you use stock images, or what's your process look like? Do you hand draw them, or
I can't draw to save my life. Anytime I've done like Venn diagrams for some stuff to show what was going on in the book, especially for, more of the why choose stuff. Those are stick figures, 100%. I cannot draw. I hire people to do those things. For my covers, I do use stock photos to create. So we'll use Soltamar as an example. So originally, obviously, he is not blue. So I use Photoshop in order to get him blue, the right side, like shade, and adjust the hair and things like that. And then pulled up the Mars planet in the background. It does take a little bit of work to get the shadows to play nice sometimes with these books, but that's the two. I use the stock photos and I play with Photoshop. I've also been playing with Photoshop since 2008, and a lot of mine is self-taught. Like I'll take classes and stuff like that to try to help build up certain ways, but I've also purchased a lot of like fonts, so that way my fonts don't look like every other, book out there. So
cool. What vision do you have for your books? Like long ways down the road, do you want to like have them made in movies or TV series or maybe a video game, or what's your hope long term, the vision for your books?
I think the Legend series, which is 9 books in the series, that would make an awesome TV series. I would be ecstatic. I don't really dream about long-term goals because my ADHD always kicks in. It's like, ooh, new idea. Ooh, new idea. So I don't usually like, that would be like, sure, it would be totally awesome to have like a TV show like with Shifting the Crease and the Houston Heat Waves and stuff like that. That would be amazing. But like I'm also more of a realist where I'm just like the chances of that happening are very, very slim. So
well, you got to speak it into existence before it can happen, though. You got to,
right? You got to manifest that.
Yeah, you got to manifest it.
I mean, even something like this series where it's on different planets and it could have its own like little either movie series or TV show, like heck yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, probably a movie considering they're not that big, but that would still be pretty cool. I still have, what is that, 3 more books for that series to write?
You'll get it.
I'll get it eventually.
You don't even want to know the backlog of all the stuff I got going on.
So I actually have the series titles. Okay, mind you, it's a little smudged. But so these are the series that are in the magic side, non-magic side. Those are the active, like what I've like released of book 1 or 2 and have not finished yet. That's just that list. That is not if there is a new book that decides to take over my brain and make known. So obviously that's not even on the list. That list was made and written down, I want to say last year or the year before. It has not been updated.
And for those that don't know, she's also very crafty.
I am. Let's see. Where did it go? My newest section is my Krakens. Yes, I had to look for something earlier, so like my desk got absolutely
ransacked.
Yeah, because I was looking for my birth certificate and I knew I'd taken photos of it. There they are. And I couldn't find it. And then it was in the center The one place I didn't look. So yes, these are called Krakens. They are a little fun toy. These are my newest obsessions. But I also crochet crop tops, little peens. I also do the girls stuff. I have fun. So.
All right. Well, thanks for being on with me.
No problem.
I'm not sure if anyone else has any more questions for Michaela before we split, but thank you.
Did you have any questions about the specific book for Athena or no?
I don't.
Okay.
I gotta get into the rest of your books and broaden my horizons a little bit, I guess. But
so yeah, if you I do know if you read His Brother's Baby would be before Empire of Law.
Okay.
You'll get a little bit more. They're definitely interconnected. If you want to read them at the same time, cool. But I do His Brother's Baby first.
Molly said she has KU and she needs a list sent to her.
So the KU list, there are 5, 6, 7. There are 8 on KU under my Michaela's or Kindra side, and I want to say 16 on my Michaela side. I kind of like slowly rotate them in and out. Right now, on my Michaela side, there is the Legend series, Nevada, Dragons of Nevada, Dragons of the Tundra. Those are the 3 series that I have active on KU.
Molly says she knows she reads too much.
So if you're okay with some magic side, you'll definitely like the Legend series would be a good start. A lot of the books that I've written on my Michaela side are interconnected. They're I did it in like 3 phases, not on purpose. But if you go and check my profile out, I have it to where it lists all of these stuff that's like connected in those. That is awesome. I currently technically don't have triggers, but my life is chaos enough where I don't need to be reading too much dark stuff to spiral my own life. So technically at the moment I have triggers. Before this, I did not. I could read anything. No problem. Right now, my life's just, it's a mess. With a protection order and everything like that, I don't need the scary stalker men in my books. I want to read the funny stuff. I want to laugh. So
does that mean you're going to do rom-coms next?
Oh gosh, I can't pull off a rom-com. That's the problem. I tried. Oh, I tried so hard. There's one. Under Kindra, it's called Rough Royal Love. It was my one and only attempt at a rom-com. And it's this guy he's a prince. He's got this teeny tiny little dog. It's a Yorkshire Terrier, I think. And he carries it around and he absolutely loves this dog. Okay. But no one else, like, he's just like, he ignores everyone else during this like one meeting where he's feeding and talking to his dog and ignoring everyone. And the female character is like, excuse you. My eyes are here. And so it was my one and only attempt at a rom-com. I don't think I pulled it off. You can be the judge of that if I did or not. But I have not attempted it again. So, but the only mafia side is probably the Daring Break. Only because I'm getting some of my energy out with her, with Millie. Because like I said, she likes to go a little stabby on some bad guys, which I'm having fun getting some of that energy out that way. I can write a little bit of a rom-com. See, yeah, every time I try to be funny, I'm like, oh, that is absolutely hilarious. And then I'll show it to someone else and like, yeah, it's okay. And I'm just like, but that was so funny. That was the punchline. And I'm like giggling like a schoolgirl. And no one's like, okay, whatever. It's like, fine then. I don't think it's my genre. It's okay.
All right. Well, thanks for being here with me this week. I know you got other things to do, especially being a busy mom and everything else. So, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I look forward to reading more of your stuff when I get a minute. It's just hard with life sometimes to get in as much reading as I want.
Right. I've
But,
been doing rereading because I can't, my brain's not retaining anything. So I get it.
but on a positive note, since I've been doing this show pretty much every Tuesday for since February, um, I've been reading at least one book a week, sometimes more.
Hey, see, that's positive.
So, which if you look at my Goodreads in the last 2 years, I've read more books this year than I have in the last 2 or 3 years combined.
That's funny. Audiobooks is what helped me kick butt last year.
I wish I could do audio. I just can't get into them. Like I'm not an audio person. I do not retain audio. I have to read it in order to retain it.
Well, and see, that's the funny part. When I was in school, anytime there was like a history lesson, I could sit there, no notes, sit there and retain every ounce of information. If there was a test that, like, let's say those teachers that had took their questions from like the book itself, I figured out very quickly where they were getting their questions and read specifically those things or had someone read it to me, then I would have be good. But I retained all the information just listening.
I'm
Why?
jealous of the people who can do that. I'm not one of them, but
It makes it's a challenge sometimes when you're doing online study and you have to read the information and you don't have anyone talking to you. That is where the challenge is. So it has its benefits and then it has its disadvantages for sure. So
and next week's guest is going to be Emily Camp. We're going to talk about her Case and Truth book because that's the first one she recommended I start with. So I do have a few of her books. If you guys know me, I have way more books than I have time to read. So,
same, 100% same.
but I appreciate everyone being here this week. This has been Michaela and Kindra Woods.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye.